Welcome to Frank Talk. In a world that is transforming itself into again into two blocks, this time there is a China which is confronting America, and America, as you go by its narrative, says that there is a contest between democracy and authoritarianism. We have today with us Dr. Tahir Jamil. Dr. Saab, you are welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
Dr. Saab, our dilemma or our problem is that we have to live with the larger than Himalaya friendship that is projected by America as an authoritarian state which wants to spread its structures across the world. And on the other side, America says we are democracy and we are building an alliance of democracies. So our problem is that on one side is the largest democracy of the world, that's India, and it's a strategic partner of America. On the other side of ours is China, which is our friend, and we have very long term relations with this country. So, how we will manage these two realities
First
in
of
the
all,
coming days?
the point that you have expressed that the China wants to impose its structure in the world. No, I don't think so. It is something like
It is
that.
what America says.
Yeah, Americans can say that, but it has not yet been proven substantially that he has its own ideological setup, and through it want to penetrate into other parts of the world. Yes, Pakistan. It depends on our country, that how we are going to negotiate with our interest, with the oldest democracy of the world, with the largest democracy of the world, and the greater power of the world, China. And also, I would like to say that we have a lot of diplomatic potential in Afghanistan and beyond Afghanistan, in Russia and the Central Asian states. So it also depends how we are going to define our interests. So far, and we have given a most favored nation status to the China. We have free trade agreements with China, but no one has stopped us.
Dr. Saab, as far as our own interest is concerned, if you remember last year, we brought out for the first time our national security policy that
Yes.
was said citizen centric. It makes difference. We have put citizens at the center stage of our policy formulation,
Okay.
and it has very serious implications for our administrative structures, for our policies, and for our democracy. One,
Okay. So when
we have a policy.
we have a policy, but what for by citizen centric you mean?
Citizen centric, that if you are going to make a defense policy,
Okay.
to say we will put the interest of citizen first. Citizen is not threatened merely by foreign armies. He is threatened by disease, hunger, and these things. So it's very a broad based policy basically.
Yeah, it is broad based policy and good outline. I think it is a good outline for the future, and it seems sometimes pragmatic and optimistic that we are going to be citizen centric. But question is that if you are going to be a citizen centric, then you cannot hold a policy, stick to a policy of confrontation, even the minimum confrontation with your neighborhoods. So this is a good omen on one side, but on the other side, that how we are going to pursue our defense policy on the ground. I think the way we are going to look at India in the future, the way we are going to look China in the future, the way we are going to look our own position in this region, that is going to be much many times frequently revised by our policymakers.
This policy also says that we are going to follow the rule of geoeconomics.
Good.
That means regional connectivity.
Good. So regional connectivity is an established reality. Here I would like to give an example from the Mercosur, the model of Mercosur, the connectivity model in South America that was followed. And I think if I'm going to connect the prosperity of many of the South American nations with the Mercosur, That was the time when they began to integrate economically. So, Pakistan vying for a regional connectivity is a pragmatic decision. But how on the ground we are going to materialize this very ideal, this very hope, and this very doctrine, it still needs to wait.
Dr. Saab, if you look at the ground realities, we largely depend on our Indus Basin
Good.
for our survival and livelihood, but it is divided.
How?
One part, our three rivers have gone to India, so it is divided. Three rivers going to India means that we have less water with
Okay.
ourselves and less agriculture. Many parts of the country, you say eastern parts of the country, livelihood has been in danger, and we have compensating ourselves with the help of Western Alliance, Western Bloc.
In this,
So-
yeah,
So, for the sake of food security,
good.
we will have to cooperate with India. We will have to share resources with India. But the general tendency is that India does not want to share its resources.
Have you
with
gone through the
Pakistan.
statement of, I think, Indian Foreign Minister, which he has given 2 days back,
Yes, Jaishankar.
Jaishankar? So, what's your opinion about that?
He has said that we have no concern with Pakistan,
No
whatever
concern with
happens to
Pakistan.
it.
I think Indians have a bee in their bonnet, a sense of not very irrationalized sort of bias.
Hypernationalism. they are
Happiness.
practicing it.
Indians have they still have not came out of the mode of that movement of the which they launched against the British. Every time they are in a very frenzy, a biggest frenzy, political frenzy. So this is a big problem with India. Okay, there may be some Indian scholars which may be saying that it is the Pakistan which is responsible having a bad relations with India. No, not at all. India does not have very cordial relation with every single nation in South Asia.
Yes, true.
Which type of ideological differences it has with Nepal? Bangladesh is not happy. What is happening in Sri Lanka? I cannot understand the mindset of the Indians. Although on the ground they are the democracy, they are the parliamentary democracy, they have the avowed Westminster system. But I found them drifting toward the way I look at the statements of their state politicians and the rhetoric which they follow over the time, they seems to be more close to the fascism.
Dr. Saab, to keep peace and stability in South Asia,
Yes.
these two countries needs to coordinate with each other vis-a-vis sustainable development goals,
Oh, okay.
Vis-a-vis food security,
Good.
Vis-a-vis trade, even a north-south corridor. I mean,
Yes, I think this is the most important thing.
how America can be important in this regard?
America can be important in this. I think American right now are a very good partner and the strategic partner of India. But at the same time, Americans may have very good studies about that. I think we have to explore that how much Indian potential can be capped. Whenever we talk about the economic prosperity, we for the every decade, for the every year, we just fix a margin. How much marginally a nation can go up. India can go to a certain limit, but beyond that limit of growth, of economic progress, prosperity, industrialization, and increase in the standards of living of the people, it for that purpose it have to connect itself at the regional level. And Pakistan is one of the biggest partner in the region. Without denying Pakistan, without having a connectivity with Pakistan, I think the Indian dream that they are going to compete sometime in the near future with China, I don't think so. It would be a fool's paradise.
Unfortunately, as you have said, Indians are very inward-looking people.
Yes.
Every time Pakistan desires to connect with them, they shy away from connectivity, from having a cordial relation with Pakistan. I don't know what is the reason, but Pakistan needs a space, I think.
Pakistan needs a space, definitely, but
To
still,
become a thriving democracy, Pakistan needs some space.
Pakistan needs some space, it's okay, but I think there is, why I give more blame to India, there is one reason behind that. Because India is the biggest partner. India is aspiring to be a global power and international power. According to some estimates, it is the fifth biggest economy in the world. So the onus definitely and the responsibility definitely devolves to the India, that it have to come forward. But the problem is that the way the posturing, look at the posturing of Indian politicians, Indian statesmen and Indian foreign policy. It has more of a confrontation overtones than one can get an impression that India wants some friendship. So it has the problem, psychological side, and moreover, every time whenever there is an Indian election, either it's and particularly in their national elections, the main issue is their relations with Pakistan. They talk little about their own problems, but they talk more about the Pakistan is a nemesis for them. Pakistan is causing most of the problems for them, and this is the subject of their Bollywood movies. This is the subject of their internal debates, and this is also the subject of their electoral campaigns.
Dr. Saab, do you think it will be a great challenge for America if it is going to take India as a strategic partner?
America has a biggest trend in a biggest you can say history, one of the most important history of cooperating with the world. And if you go back into the history, the auto industry was given to Russia by the Americans. It was given to Germans by the Americans. Americans play important role in the development of Taiwan, in the development of Japan. So Americans have no hesitation to share the technology with the rest of the world. And whatever we boast about the China, it is a greater power of the world. But I think its bases were established by the American intervention when they introduced the open door diplomacy. And that was the only diplomacy with the save China to be balkanized at the hand of the many, you can say, many colonial power of the world at that time. So Americans would be more welcoming to come into India and cooperate with them. But again, I am going to tell you that it is the business model of the American businessman, which is not in the control of American administration. They will come to India when they will have chances to get more scale of their returns.
Dr. Saab, this point needs elaboration, and
Okay.
we will continue with this topic in next episode as well. Till that time, good.